And welcome to the 38th episode of the Backburners. I'm Dylan Sherman.
I'm Miles Walton.
And I'm Sam Tiller. We want to thank you for lending your ears for another hour of non-stop sports entertainment.
It's a very special time of year. It is March Madness Eve.
Well, technically, it's already started.
I guess the play-in games, yeah.
Yeah, you got first four going on today. We watched a little bit of it before we headed over.
Yeah, I don't know who won that game.
I don't either. But Wyoming, Indiana is going on as we speak. It started 15 minutes ago.
And Oregon is playing Utah State.
Nobody cares.
First round of the NIT.
Nobody cares. It's the NIT.
Nobody. I know. Gosh, should we give a little preview of what this episode is going to be, since it's a little different than the usual?
Yeah, a little diff. Sure.
Please go ahead, my friend.
So, I mean, there's a couple big things going on in sports right now, and it's March Madness, obviously, starts today. The real thing actually starts on Thursday. But we also have NFL free agency, which has been pretty wild. And we got F1 starting this week. So we're just going to kind of go over everything. It's going to be fun.
Very exciting. Shall we start with NFL free agency?
I think we should start with Zoom background of the week.
We should start with Zoom background of the week.
And then we should probably do an ad read for our amazing sponsor.
That we should. All right, this Zoom background of the week is the three best friends that anyone can have. It's the three best friends that anyone could have.
Turtlenecks and chains.
Was that a bike bar, or is that just how you guys go out?
That was a bike bar.
That is our daily look right there.
Yeah, that's how we dress on the regular.
It should be.
Yeah, we all look great, honestly. Tiller's sweater was fantastic.
It was. And then later in the day, it got hot, so I ripped the sleeves off.
Yeah.
I was going off that day on the photos. I took so many above wide angle photos of just everyone mean mugging.
I think we had just discovered it, and we were just having so much fun with the wide angle.
Yeah, right at the end of the bike bar in front of that wall, that graffitied wall or whatever. I have a picture like 10 photo shoot pictures of every single person that was there probably.
Yeah.
Sherm, can you make that face again? I want to see it.
Is that your blue steel?
Yeah, he makes that face all the time.
My Jew steel.
Oh.
I was really aggressive with that lip bite.
Yeah, such a fun picture. Remember, which one of you posted the picture saying we kicked her out?
That was me. Yeah. Yeah.
I think some people in the beginning were a little uncomfortable with the way we would joke about it, because they were like, isn't this mean? Isn't it sad? And I'm like, no, it's fine.
That was strictly meant
We
to be
were elated.
I'm sure you were.
Anyways, who's reading the ad this week?
It's my turn. And do you need a new place to live that is actually within your budget? Looking for a place to live adds stress to your already busy life. Chillo is here to cure that headache. Introducing the Chillo app, a place to find a rental home and roommates on the same platform. Simply create your profile, check out the rental listings available, message the verified lister, and tour the new place. Have a place available for rent? Listen on Chillo with the same ease. And for a limited time, Chillo will donate $1 to Catch Idaho, a local nonprofit dedicated to ending homelessness in Idaho. Find your next place to live on Chillo. Download in the iOS App Store today.
It's very good.
Nice. You guys should have JL do one if he comes back on.
Ooh. We would love that.
It'd be interesting.
To come back.
It'd be interesting. We'd love to have him back.
The one podcast I did with Bob Saget, he on that podcast, the guest always intros. They're like, "Hey, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Bob Saget." Cue the music, and we thought it'd be funny just to use Bob Saget's clip for every remaining podcast after that, just to add some credibility to the show.
Did it work?
It's a good idea.
We elected not to do that. Also, it would be terribly fucked up to do that now. So
That's a good point.
Yeah,
it's valid.
Drinking some red wine over there, Sherm?
I am drinking some
He's
red
always got his
wine.
wine.
Yeah, he's a
So
big
fine.
wine guy now.
He is.
I
Welcome
am.
to the club.
I am.
When did you get into wine?
Thank you. As soon as I left.
Yeah.
That's not
No,
true.
you were
So-
kind of into it before you left.
I was into it when during Bachelor season.
Yes, Bachelor season was a fun
Are
time.
there like wineries in Austin? Is it like a wine town? It seems like kind of a.
is. You would think not, but Texas is a massive wine state.
Really?
That is not something I know.
Yeah.
I know they got like
Yeah,
whiskey and like bourbon and stuff like that, but wine, you'd never hear about Texas wines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't either, but a lot of people down here are big into Texas wine. Not necessarily like near Austin, but there's a place called Fredericksburg, which is like I don't know, like an hour and a half away. Big wine country over here.
You strictly sticking with red still, or have you branched out at all? I'm
still with the red. I like a nice Pinot on the wall. The pronunciation game on point.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Pinot on the wall. So
Big wine
that's
guy.
what I'm into.
Big wine guy.
Dude, big wine guy. Wait for this.
Is this a nightly routine?
God, he loves his blue light glasses.
Damn, someone moved to a tech capital, that's for sure.
Wine, blue light glasses, and backwards hats. Dylan Sherman, everybody.
New and
the new me,
improved.
new and improved. Yeah.
Let me guess,
It's
you take
nice.
a shuttle bus to work with Wi-Fi?
Not yet.
He's not that
but
advanced.
soon. Yeah, I haven't evolved yet. That's the next stage. Like
The
a
next thing he's
Pokemon.
got to get is the standing desk with the treadmill, and then
Oh, I do have a standing desk. I don't have the treadmill.
That's the next new you.
Yeah.
He's going to be walking during the podcast. By the end, he's like, yeah, so by the way, guys, I walked 4 miles during this episode.
Got to get my steps in somehow. Anyways, God, this is a sports podcast. This is not faff around hour.
Kinda.
It's sports and faffing around. Anyways, let's break into some free agency. There's some massive contracts being given out.
Yeah.
A lot of money being spent.
Well, the
by
NFL
the
upped the
NFL.
cap. Up the cap. Like,
Right.
It was like,
Right.
what, $20
Right.
million they upped it? So
More
teams-
than that.
That helps.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was about that.
It was about
Yeah.
20 million. So teams are feeling rich this week. And
Some more than others.
yeah, it showed like the Jags.
They're dropping some coin.
They're dropping some coin. And I mean, I'm just going to start this off. I think the biggest shock to everyone was Christian Kirk, 4 years, $72 million. That's a man who he's a very talented receiver, but he's not a number one. He's never had a 1,000-yard year in his career. To pay him $72 million over 2 years is a lot. They are expecting a lot from him, and I just don't see him as a number one in an offense.
No, and you look at his stats, he hasn't had a double-digit touchdown season. Like you said, has not eclipsed over 1,000 yards. I mean, probably a really good number two to have, but he's given wide receiver one money. I'm not sure about that. I mean,
Yeah, that one's surprising. The one that surprises me the most, though, is the Vikings re-signing Kirk Cousins for 1 year, $35
for
million.
an absurd amount of money.
Yeah.
He is not a great quarterback. I don't know who's going to pay him that much. Obviously, the Vikings will, but I don't know what they see in him.
Yeah, the quarterback market is it's brutal right now. You're not going to, unless somebody's on a rookie deal, you're paying them $30 million a year. There's no question about it.
Yeah, unless they're a rookie or a like a Mitch Trubisky or a Tyrod Taylor, you're either paying a boatload or you're giving them pennies on the dime.
Yeah.
What else? I mean, J.C. Jackson to the Chargers, that's big.
That's
and they also
huge
got
for them.
Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
82 and a half, 5 years for J.C. Jackson. That's big.
Yeah, that's a big contract, but he's worth it.
Yeah, I think it'll be worth it for sure. Chargers are doing a really, really good job this offseason.
Oh, big time. They're I mean, now they're in the toughest division in the NFL, and it's not even up for debate. They are looking like a favorite out of the AFC, I think, because their two weaknesses last year were pass rush and secondary. They fixed both those issues, and they still have cap room to spare, and we still have the draft coming up. So
Yeah, they're doing a good job at filling
they're
those
looking
gaps
good.
for sure.
And re-signing Mike Williams.
Yeah, I
That's
saw
big
that.
for them. So yeah, I was high on the Chargers last year. I'm gonna be probably even higher on them next year.
Yeah, I didn't see who did they trade for Khalil Mack.
I think it was just picks,
It was just draft picks. It was like a second and a fifth,
something like
I
that.
want to say.
Yeah.
It seems like the Bears are going through a rebuild. They weren't winning with him, so you might as well get something for him.
Yeah.
One that I was surprised about, but I'm happy for him, is DJ Reed getting a nice little payday, going from the Seahawks to the Jets. 3 years, $33 million. Likable guy, a fantastic cover corner. Getting a payday.
Yeah. And then the story of the morning really was Randy Gregory saying that he was going to sign with the Cowboys and then just trolling them and like, nope, fuck you, I'm out. I'm going to Denver. I want to be on a Super Bowl contender.
I think it was planned too.
I do too.
I think he just wanted to mess with them.
Yeah, but it was great watching the Cowboy like Twitterverse just scramble.
Yeah.
Because they were all so hyped. Like announced first thing in the morning, Randy Gregory, 4 years, $70 million, Dallas Cowboys, and then like literally an hour later, it was like, oh, he's actually going to Denver. So
yeah, I had to do a double take when I saw it on Twitter. I saw in the morning he was intending on time with the Cowboys, and then looking right after, like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
it's great though. It's
It is.
great. It's good.
It
It's
really
good.
is. It really is.
Another team making some moves is the Dolphins. Chase Edmonds, 2 years, $12.6 million, and they also get Emmanuel Ogbah.
I don't even know who that is.
Ogbah? I don't either, but they're paying him a lot of money, $65 million for 4 years. I want to
Isn't
say
he a
he's an
pass
O-line.
rusher?
Oh,
Emmanuel
Sounds like a pass rusher's name.
how would you pronounce that last name? Ogbah.
Ogba.
Yeah,
Ogba.
Ogba.
Yeah, look, I think he's an end, a D end. They also got Tyrod Taylor as a backup.
No, they got Teddy.
No, I'm sorry.
Teddy.
Yes, sorry. Teddy Bridgewater. And Tyrod Taylor's going to the Giants, I believe.
Yes. Yeah. So speaking of quarterbacks, it wasn't a free agency signing, but it was a trade. Carson Wentz to the Washington Commanders. Now it's going to take me a while to get used to that. But there's been so much backlash on Mr. Wentz, and I don't think it's valid. And I'm going to read some stats here. Carson Wentz, last year, had a 62% completion percentage. He threw for 3,500 yards. He had 27 touchdowns and 7 picks. Okay, that's a 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. That's pretty good, okay? And the Colts were unhappy with him. Now, let's look at somebody else. This guy has a 68% completion percentage, and he threw for 4,800 yards, but he only threw 23 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. It's Derek Carr. Nobody's questioning him. Nobody's questioning, like, if he can lead the Raiders at this point. Here's another guy. 67% completion percentage, 3,700 yards, 21 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Again, I would say that that's not as good of a year as Carson Wentz.
Who is that?
That's Ryan Tannehill. So nobody's questioning him. The Titans said we're going to stick with him. I don't understand why Carson Wentz gets so much hate.
Will you read off Carson Wentz's stats again from last year? What was it, 27?
63% completion, 3,500 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 7 picks. And keep in mind, the Colts have probably a bottom 5 wide receiver room in the NFL. They have Michael Pittman and then an old T.Y. Hilton. That's it. Like, Jonathan Taylor is the best part of their offense.
Yeah, he was their game the whole year.
Yeah, but you can't blame the Colts for going 9-8 because of Carson Wentz. I know he didn't perform well at the end of the year, and that cost him a couple games, but who does he have the ball to distribute? Like, who does he have around him to distribute the ball to? Michael Pittman, I'm sorry, he's a very good receiver in the NFL. He's not a number 1. I don't understand. Washington Super Bowl odds went down after signing him. It was like plus 6,000. Now they're at like plus 7,500. That's shocking. If down from Taylor Heineke, you're telling me Carson Wentz is worse than Taylor Heineke. No.
It's a good point.
Good point. I don't know why people shit on Carson Wentz so much. That's not a bad year.
Yeah, me stumped. I'm
He's
I think
he's a top 15 quarterback in the league.
no, I don't disagree with you at all. I think that the problem is that he started his career in Philly, and he had again, I don't have the stats in front of me, but I feel like he would make some throws that were mind-boggling, that were nobody else could place the ball where he placed it. And then he also had some throws where you're like, what are you doing? And with that came the hate from Philly, because people from Philadelphia are out of their fucking minds.
Yeah.
And that hate he hasn't been able to shake that. And I think that's a huge reason why he's still all the hate that he got in Philly.
Yeah, I just think that this is a glaring mistake by Jim Irsay and the Colts to get rid of him.
Right, because what are they going to do now?
So you'd rather
they're going to sign Marcus Mariota? What are they going to do?
Jimmy G, Deshaun, I don't
So
know.
you would have rather seen them give Wentz some weapons than give up on him.
That's what he needs, because you want to talk about the hate that he got in Philly. Dude, there were times in Philly where they would have one active receiver on the roster on game day. That's how bad their receiving core was. They didn't have healthy receivers. They had to run 13 and 23 personnel the whole fucking game. So, again, that's not Carson Wentz's fault that they suck. That was Doug Peterson not signing receivers and not having enough receivers on their roster to give him people to throw to.
Yeah, it's a good point. We'll see how he does at the Commanders. Gotta love that name.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my rant about Carson Wentz.
And we got one more big one.
We do.
Tom
biggest one.
Brady.
Yeah, that was the story of the weekend.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised, but at the same time I'm not. I think he should have retired, and I think it's going to be a mistake that he didn't, but we'll see.
I think if he can't get back to the Super Bowl this year, it will be categorized as a mistake. I think it won't tarnish his legacy, obviously, but it will be a question mark if he doesn't get back to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, and I think that's what he told himself. He's like, if I win, I think he was probably going to retire anyway. Win, I'll retire. Lose, I'll retire. And now he's chasing that ring one more time, and I think he's going to get upset at the end again because he loses. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, he's got one more year left on his contract, so I think this is his final year, regardless of what happens. And I think if his final year of his contract would have been this year, it would have been his final year. He's not signing another contract.
No, I think it would be ill-advised.
Yeah.
As much as you got to respect Tom Brady. I mean, he's 45 years old. Yes, I don't think he's not getting another contract.
How pissed?
Someone would sign him. If you wanted to play, someone would sign him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. How pissed do you think Aaron Rodgers is?
God.
He's probably like, finally, it's my time, and then he comes back.
Yeah.
He's had a rough week, even though he did sign an enormous contract. No, the day that it came out that he was going to sign that contract, Russell Wilson gets traded. And then when the news with Tom Brady, I mean, he's getting washed. I feel so bad for him.
I don't. Also, it kind of makes me laugh that when that whole news came out about him re-signing with the Packers, he was like, "This is false. I haven't signed a contract yet. It's not worth that much money." And it came out and it was 4 years, $200 million. And then he signs a contract and it's 3 years, $150 million. It's that's the same amount of money. It's $50 million a year regardless. So, come on, dude. I'm glad that the spotlight's being taken off him because I'd hate him.
I don't want to switch topics, but just going back to Brady, I think it's what the NFC needed, especially with Russell Wilson moving to the AFC. I mean, the AFC is going to be dominant for the next couple of years. The NFC needed something like this to at least stay competitive because, I mean, they're shit out of luck.
Yeah. The people that were happiest about Brady coming out of retirement was Fox because they have the NFC contract. So they get another quarterback, another big quarterback back in the conference. So they were the big winners this weekend, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point. They also got a wide receiver today, didn't they?
Who?
Tampa.
I have no idea.
I think they did, but I'm blanking on who.
Let me take a look, see.
I think
they re-signed Carlton Davis, who's a corner. They re-signed Ryan Jensen.
Russell Gage. They
Russell
picked up Russell Gage.
I think the biggest question the remaining of the offseason is going to be where is Devontae Adams going to be next year?
And how much money is his next contract going to be with the Christian Kirk money?
Exactly, because he reset the market. So are you going to pay Devontae Adams, a true number one, potentially the best receiver in the NFL, $30 million a year to catch a football? I wouldn't spend that kind of money on a receiver.
It's a lot of money.
That's quarterback money.
Yeah.
It is getting absurd, these contracts.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, they were given more cap this year, so they're taking advantage of that.
And then you start to kind of figure out the game inside the game when it comes to contracts is, let's say that you have a guy who has, let's say 2 years left in his contract, or I guess, 1 year. Do you re-sign him now and lock him up for potentially less money than the market's going to dictate, or do you wait? That's the new game is determining when. I guess not the new game, but it's something that I'm just kind of realizing is super prevalent is when to re-sign it. Because that's just as important as how much you're going to sign for.
Right, because every year it seems like at every position the market is being reset for how much these top guys are getting paid. So if they're the top player at their position, you're going to want to try to sign them, but like with 2 years left in their contract, get them on a 3-year extension or something like that. But as a top player, you don't have to sign that extension. And why would you? Because in 2 years you can get a hell of a lot more money, even if it's not for the same organization that you're playing for now.
We have predictions on what Brady's going to do this year. Do we think he's going to have a good season? Do we think
he's going to be
Do we
Brady?
think he's making it back?
Yeah.
I mean,
he'll make it back to the playoffs, might make a couple rounds, but I don't think he's getting to the Super Bowl.
I don't either. I mean, right now, can anybody stop the Rams? I don't think so.
Yeah, and I just think that Tampa's window is kind of closing.
Yeah,
they're not going to be as good this year as they were last year. They didn't win last year, so
yeah. But out of all the teams in the NFC, I think the Rams are still going to be the best team next year, and I don't think the Bucs are going to surpass them.
It's upsetting to hear, but
we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that idiot about the football?
Yeah. That guy took the L of the week. Oh, my God.
Yeah, who's more pissed, Aaron Rodgers or that guy?
Probably that guy.
Probably that guy.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't hear about it.
He spent $586,000 on Tom Brady's last touchdown football. And he bought it the day before Tom Brady announced that he was not actually retiring.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Biggest win of the century, the guy who sold him that ball.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. He was 1 day away from, because the football is worth nothing. It's just a ball that Tom Brady touched. It's worth $100. It's not worth anything now. And he spent $500,000 on it.
The guy who sold it probably had some insider knowledge. It's
insider.
If I was that guy,
quite a move.
I would spend, actually no, because I guess he doesn't have any money anymore. I was going to say, I would try to contact Tom Brady and be like, what can I do to guarantee that I get your football at the end of this season just so I can throw this one in the goddamn garbage can?
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
That sucks.
It's so funny, though. Really just shows how stupid people are. One, is that really worth $500,000? No matter what, is that really worth that?
I wouldn't ever pay $500,000 for a football.
No, but if it was actually his last touchdown, I bet you in 10 years he could sell it for more. But
yeah, true.
That's probably what he was thinking. It was an investment.
Yeah. I mean, if I had $500,000 to just blow, why not? Yeah, if I had $1 billion, sure.
Reminds me of the
But-
Pele ball from Kicking and Screaming.
Yeah.
Jeez, that sucks.
Yeah. Tough luck for that guy.
Tough luck. Well, it's March, which means it's the start of March Madness, the happiest time of the well, let's say the second happiest time of the year, right behind kickoff for the NFL.
I think this is the
So-
best
This is
month for
better than
sports.
that,
This
yeah.
is way better than that.
This
All
many
right.
games every single day for like
Yeah,
2 weeks
dude.
straight.
Just
There's
shut up.
there's 16 games on Thursday. There's 16 on Friday.
You're wrong.
It's nice.
You're wrong.
Okay. All right. God, I concede.
This is the best tournament in all of sports. It's the best month in all of sports.
Fine. I concede. You win. Is that what you wanted to hear? You win.
Yep. Actually, we win. Everybody wins this month.
Somebody needs to keep you in check. Anyways, so we have created for our little podcast group a tournament challenge. Have we decided a winner, or a reward, or a punishment? Have
No, we
decided
haven't,
that?
but we have 3 weeks to figure it out because this is a 3-week long tournament.
You got to start it at like the beginning so you know what's at stake.
Right. I feel like it'd be
The
important
anticipation
that we figure it out.
builds.
Well, we're not gonna discuss this over the air, so we haven't decided it yet. So it's not gonna be decided right now.
So you're going to discuss it under the air?
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
Off the air would
Thank-
be the proper term.
Yeah.
No, I like under the air.
Beneath the air.
So would under the air technically be like in the ocean?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Because you're under the air. Yeah.
That's very nice.
March
Anyways,
Madness.
God. March Madness.
Let's keep it rolling. There's a show after you guys.
Shall we read off our Sweet 16s?
You don't want to do big upsets first?
Oh, sorry. Jesus. God, I'm just all over the place. All right. Big upsets. My kick it off.
I'll just kick it off with the big one. Boise State beats Gonzaga in the round of 32. It makes it all the way to the Elite Eight. I'm running with it.
Honestly, I was so out on this idea, and then JL really like got me excited last week because he was so confident in Boise State. Like,
Someone had to do it.
yeah.
Dude, it's Gonzaga.
I don't care who it is. It's Boise State.
Also, out of all the teams on this list, Gonzaga and Boise State are the only two that I like know or care about, and I'm really upset that they had to get matched up in the second round.
Oh,
Like,
I was upset too. I was watching the selection show on Sunday, and Boise State's the 3rd team that they announced, and I was like, "Are you
They
fucking
got
kidding
so
me?"
robbed.
They got so robbed. Even their
So
first
robbed.
round matchup against Memphis, that's not an easy game.
Yeah, they got robbed. I also have Chattanooga making it to the Sweet 16, beating Illinois and Houston. What other upsets? Those are the big ones. USC beating Auburn in the second round, and San Diego State beating Kansas.
There's a lot of bold predictions coming out of your bracket right
Wow.
You gotta have them.
now. Yeah. So I have 2 double-digit seeds in my Sweet 16. I have Loyola Chicago, which I think is probably going to be one of the more popular picks to make the Sweet 16 this year. They're a 10 seed. I have them beating Ohio State and then beating Villanova. And then I have Colgate going to the Sweet 16 too. I like them. They shoot the shit out of the 3. They're good. I think they roll Wisconsin. I don't think it's a game. And then, I have LSU winning. We'll see. We'll see what happens. They just fired their coach. So, but other than that, Virginia Tech over Texas. I think that's a slam dunk.
I also have that one.
And then Davidson over Michigan State. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Those are my big upsets. I also have UAB over Houston, but that's a 12-5, so those are predictable.
I got Murray State over Kentucky.
Ooh, that's pretty big.
Wow.
I have Kentucky in my Final Four.
Well, you better rethink everything.
Travis,
Also-
obviously the smartest one here.
Yeah, honestly, I went through and I was just picking off of their ranking, and then I went through and I was like, wait, it's March Madness. There's going to be some upsets. So I just randomly swapped around a
Randomly
couple.
picking stuff.
Yeah. I kept the ones that I thought were going to do good, though.
All right.
Oh, I missed one. South Dakota beating Providence. First round.
Not off the table.
I'm just taking a look at mine. I don't have anything wacky crazy. I do have New Mexico State beating UConn. I like those 12-5 upsets. I have them losing to Arkansas in the next round, though. I have Virginia
Vermont
Tech.
beating Arkansas.
I also have Vermont beating. I have way too many upsets.
Yeah.
I have Virginia Tech beating Texas as well, just out of spite for every UT fan down here. San Francisco over Murray State, that's only a 10-7, nothing crazy. I have Iowa State over LSU, that's an 11-6. Miami over USC, out of spite for my.
Wow.
That's not happening. You have one of the smallest teams in the country up against one of the biggest teams in the country.
I said out of spite, damn it.
It's not
I have
happening.
Chattanooga beating Illinois. 13 and a 4
Yeah.
seed, and then I have Michigan
too.
beating Colorado State.
Yeah.
So nothing absurd, but I do have some upsets.
Can we just briefly talk about Michigan? I'm sorry. They do not.
I mean, you got on your pedestal, so please.
They
by all
do not
means.
deserve to be in this tournament. I don't give a shit that they play in the Big Ten. I don't give a shit that they had a tough out-of-conference schedule. They're 17-14, and you're telling me they get in over Texas A&M, who made it to the SEC championship game? What the fuck are we doing? This is insane.
Pop off.
Michigan
Off, sis.
over Texas A&M. Are you high?
Are you serious?
It's insane. It's
Yas and
insane.
Queenan.
They have a straight up thug as their head coach who punches people in the face. Like, let's be honest here. Michigan. Are you kidding me?
As I told you, Michigan is the only team in the country to have a head coach who's also an MMA fighter. So I think that counts for something.
They're 17-14. You're 3 games above 500. You get knocked out in the first round of your conference tournament, and you make the big dance? That's insane. I'm sorry.
Why don't you call Dave Portnoy and tell him how you feel?
Dave Portnoy doesn't set this bracket.
I understand, but I think he'd have a few things to say about your rant here.
I don't
Pal.
care. I don't care. 17-14. Come on.
I'm more upset about Boise State's seeding than that, but they got so robbed.
They did, but I'm more upset about Texas A&M being robbed of a seat overall in this tournament than a 17-14 team getting in.
They can't get it perfect. Everyone's going to be mad about something. Michigan fans are stoked.
They're going to get slaughtered by Colorado
What do they
State.
base all the, like, is it like a group of people that just sets this, or is it
Yeah.
like based, like, I feel like there should be like an algorithm or something that like decides this, like.
That plays a factor into it, but it is a group of people who set the field at the end of the day, but they look at all the metrics.
Yeah.
There's also auto bids, so you could literally lose every game in the regular season and win your tournament and you get in.
Yeah. But that's not Michigan
Yeah.
because they got knocked out in the first round. So
All right, are we going to start from Elite 8?
Yeah, let's do Elite 8.
am I?
Sure. Boise State, Duke. Duke moves on. UCLA, Kentucky. UCLA moves on. Iowa, Wisconsin. Iowa wins, and Arizona, Tennessee. Arizona wins. So my final 4 is Duke, UCLA, Arizona, Iowa, with my final game, Arizona and Duke. And I picked Arizona to win it all.
Wow.
Really?
Okay. I have Gonzaga Duke coming out of the West with Gonzaga winning that game. Baylor, Kentucky in the East. Kentucky going to the Final Four. Arizona, Tennessee. in the South, I got Tennessee winning that. And then Auburn, Iowa, I have Auburn in my Final Four. And then I have a Tennessee-Gonzaga championship game and Gonzaga winning 81-74. So it's Gonzaga's year. I'm all in on them.
I'm feeling that too. I got Gonzaga, Michigan State. Gonzaga wins. I got St. Mary's and Murray State. Murray State wins. Arizona and Colorado State. Arizona wins. Kansas and LSU. Kansas wins. And then Gonzaga beats Murray State. Kansas beats Arizona. And I think it's going to be Gonzaga and Kansas in the finals.
Okay, can we just hold
Michigan State.
Yeah. Can we just hold the
Murray
hold the
State.
show a little? Yeah, Murray State,
Yeah.
Oh,
LSU, and St. Mary's. You have all in your Elite Eight.
Yeah.
wait, but did you have Michigan State?
Michigan State gets beat by Gonzaga in the Elite Eight.
Okay,
Yeah.
so so they have to beat Duke, and do you have Texas Tech?
Yeah, Alabama's going to beat
Okay.
Texas Tech.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, it can happen.
You said you were just going off rankings. It doesn't sound like you did.
No, I did for the first round, and then after that, I just went nuts.
He's going to be right, too. I just know it.
This is wild.
He's just going to be right.
See, I
Wait.
think that's why you guys needed me here, because I'm going to have the
Yeah.
most uneducated opinion on this and probably beat all of you.
So you have Murray State in your Final Four.
Yeah, and I don't even know where the fuck that is. No, yeah, I do have him in the Final Four. I have no idea where it is. Never even heard of him.
Oh man.
Honestly, I was literally thinking
They
of just
score a
Matty
lot.
Murray, and so I
They
was
do
like,
score a lot.
fuck it.
They score a lot of points.
They
It's
only
not
lost
impossible.
2 games. They only lost 2 games all year, so you never know.
Yeah. Where are they? Where is that?
I don't even know.
There's no state of Murray,
It's in
that's
the-
for sure.
It's in the where's the school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's in Indiana or something.
Yeah, it
That's
sounds
where
like
Ja
some,
Morant went, right?
sounds like some
Yeah.
Midwest shit.
All right, Sherm, Elite Eight.
All right. In the West, I have Gonzaga beating Alabama. In the South, I have Arizona beating Tennessee, Tennessee beating Arizona. In the Midwest, I have Kansas beating Miami. And in the East, I have UCLA beating Kentucky, which gives me my Final Four. I have a Gonzaga UCLA matchup. Gonzaga goes on to the finals. And I have a Tennessee-Kansas matchup. Tennessee advances to the finals with Gonzaga beating Tennessee for the national championship.
You have Miami in your Elite Eight.
I do.
They're not beating
God.
USC. You're screwed.
I'm going to kill everybody in this.
Okay, but Texas Tech, both you and Trav have Texas Tech losing to Alabama. And that is
Throwback.
bold. That is really bold. They have one of the best, if not the best defense in the country.
It's the top rated
I
And
don't
defense.
give a
Alabama
shit.
sucks.
Alabama's losing to Notre Dame. I'm sorry.
Alabama's cousinly love is going
I
to
don't
take
care.
them farther than you think.
I don't care who comes out of that game. I actually have Alabama winning right now, but that's going to be a game. Rutgers or Notre Dame, that's going to be a good game, but they're not getting past Texas Tech.
No.
I almost
chance.
picked
Beauty of March
I
Madness.
almost
Anybody could beat anybody.
Texas Tech beating Duke. Like that was one of the hardest games for me to
Yeah,
pick.
that was one of the hardest games for me to pick too.
I guess we'll have to see.
We're gonna have to wait and see.
Not called March Madness for no reason.
That's true.
Yeah, I got Boise State beating Gonzaga. So.
Yeah, exactly. Dude. Like, come on.
What's your guys' final score picks? I guess it doesn't really matter on the team, but did you guys go like low scoring, high scoring?
I went 81-74.
I went 86-82.
I
76,
went
72.
67-62.
Wow, low.
I went 76, 72.
I can't really remember like in history, like because I know NBA obviously it's like over 100 all the time, but like for like the NCAA championship like this, like what's a normal score?
Like-
Around like 60s or
Yeah, like 60s, 70s is pretty normal. But like for me, Gonzaga averages like 86 points a game. But
Yeah.
Tennessee is like pretty good defensively, so they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna get to their average. But I think if it is Gonzaga Tennessee, it's gonna be very competitive and it's gonna be pretty high scoring.
Yeah, it depends on the teams a lot, but
Yeah, 100% it does. Like if Texas Tech gets there, I mean, we could be looking at a 62 to
yeah,
50 game.
yeah. And they could. The only reason I didn't have them going that far is because I have Boise State in my Elite Eight, and I didn't want to put Texas Tech in the Final Four, but I would have had to. because Boise State's not making it. That they could. I don't think they're making it to the Final Four, but
That's the problem with doing like the fun ones on the bracket is like you're like, oh, that'd be a fun game for them to win, and then you're like, oh wait, are they really gonna go like past? Like you pick Boise State over Gonzaga, but then you're like, then does anything really happen after that? Like, I guess Miles thinks so, but
well, I mean, if they beat Gonzaga, then they got to be better than UConn, right? And then they got to be better than Duke, and then they.
That's true. If they beat Gonzaga, they can beat anyone. So it's
hard to like have them lose a game after that, but
yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see.
Can't wait for it to happen.
I can't wait to dominate this challenge.
Does the intern have a bracket we can look at?
We can't look at it.
We can't look at it
until Thursday.
All right.
So we'll have to analyze it at some point.
That we will. And we haven't talked about F1 really quick.
Yeah, real quick.
Predictions for Bahrain Grand Prix.
I might kick it off.
All right. I got my top 3 as Perez, Sainz, and Leclerc. I think something happens to Max Verstappen. I think he's going to be fastest in qualifying, but first race of the year, that guy drives like a madman. I think he goes into the gravel or something, gets knocked out of the race, and then I think Haas, one of their 2 cars, finishes in the top 10. We'll see which one. Probably K-Mag, but they're looking good, I think. They had a good practice.
That's pretty bold.
Quite bold. I guess for my top 3, I picked Lewis as my winner. I think he's, and I think it's definitely not necessarily something to prove at once. And he's revenge tour. I think he finishes first. I think Max comes in at second. I think Charles Leclerc, just like my said, in third.
Did you not see Lewis Hamilton's quote after practice?
I know he said the car wasn't, running as well, but he's said that many times.
Okay.
Yeah, he has. So I didn't do a top 3, but I think Charles is going to win this weekend. And then Verstappen and Perez probably go 2-3 would be my guess.
And Haas top 10.
I don't know, man. I just feel like Magnussen's going to put it in the wall. Like, that guy, you want to talk about drives like a madman? That guy drives like a madman.
No, if anything happens to Haas, it's just something's going to be wrong with their car.
Yeah. True.
And Gunther's going to go, "Are you fucking kidding me?" He says, "We are just a bunch of jokers."
No, wankers. He says wankers.
We are a bunch of wankers.
Look like a bunch of wankers out here.
Gotta love that guy.
Gunther. Oh, I love Gunther. He's got it bad.
He does. He's got probably the toughest job in F1.
Hopefully we get service this weekend because there's a lot to watch.
I know. Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
If there's no Wi-Fi at the cabin, I'm going to lose my mind.
We could find a little bar in Chiloquin, Oregon.
Yeah.
With every other person in a 100-mile radius that also wants to watch cable TV.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh.
Maybe the casino will have it.
There's a casino?
There's a casino like 10 miles down the road.
you
It's
should
an
have
Indian
told Trav
reservation.
that.
You're kidding me.
You should not have told Trav that.
Why didn't? Well, we went there last time and no one ever. I'm
Oh,
upset.
you did?
No, we didn't.
Slots only. There's no tables.
Oh, never mind. Actually,
We'll see.
I've the only time I've ever really killed it at the casino was on a slot machine. So
$1,200.
yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Real quick before we go, I just thought this was relevant. But Scout posted this. Kevin Holland. Did you hear about this?
No.
There was a active shooter at in Houston, Texas last night at a bar. He pulled out his gun and looked like he was about to light the place up, and there was like 40 to 50 people inside. And Kevin Holland, who is a UFC fighter, him and 2 of his buddies completely beat the shit out of this guy.
Very good.
And confiscated his gun and held him on the ground until the police were there, and probably just stopped like a mass shooting.
Nice.
Holy
And that's
shit.
why we have
Nice.
UFC.
Yep. And
Well, it's a real testament for even for Texas. Like, hey, you don't need guns. You just gotta fucking beat some ass.
Yeah.
Like,
and that
Wait, is Kevin Holland that guy who's like just so ridiculous? He is that guy who talks just the most ridiculous amount of shit and is just an absolute goofball.
oh yeah,
yeah. That's like every UFC fighter. Yeah.
No. The guy who gave like the thumbs up when he was in a headlock or in a rear naked show. He's that guy. He's like he's a fucking goofball.
He posted the meme of Dave Chappelle with like Coke all over his face and said, "Hey Dana, you got some of those UFC fights for me, man? I can't take this anymore."
Also, speaking of UFC, hashtag free Cain Velasquez.
Free Cain Velasquez.
That is some straight up bullshit that he did not, that he's being charged with attempted murder. I'm sorry. He beat up a fucking pedophile. That guy deserves to die. Cain Velasquez is not a criminal. He's a fucking hero. Free that motherfucker.
I'm with you on this one. This one's a really fucked up
That is
situation.
so fucked up. He's trying to protect his, I think it was his nephew or niece.
It was nephew.
His nephew.
Wow.
He attempted to kill the pedophile that has been molesting his nephew. Like,
For
that
months.
guy, for months. That guy should die. Cain Velasquez should be given a good Samaritan award for that.
The worst part of it
I
is
just hope that guy, that pedophile, is in the most protected custody because he's gonna have some shooters on him.
Well, the worst part of it is the pedophile got off
bail.
on bail.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cain Velasquez did not.
So he's going to jail?
He's been put on trial
Okay.
for
Jeez.
attempted murder, and the pedophile is not being tried, and he got let out of jail. It's insane. Shout out the California justice system. Good
pisses
fucking
me
job
off.
protecting the pedophiles. Best state in the union right there. God.
And with that,
Yeah. It could get deep and dark quick.
Let's not go there.
Good thing the next podcast is there. Oh my God.
What?
I said the next podcast is outside ready to record. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, they are.
Yes. All right, and that will conclude another spectacular episode of the Backburners. Shout out to the ugliest co-host of all time, Pinhead Larry, the front right burner Miles, the intern, and our wonderful producer Fabio. Make sure to give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok at the Backburners Pod, and listen to us on your favorite streaming service. We're the Backburners, and we'll catch you on the flippity flip.